You don't need to worry about me getting revenge on Diddy. I've already made 3 moves that ensure he'll never be able to come after me or my family. First, I personally reached out to the victims' legal teams. The real reason he isn't getting out has nothing to do with what the public sees. It's the buried cases behind the scenes. I helped provide legal funding for 7 victims who had stayed silent for years and brought in some of the top criminal attorneys in the country. Second, I cut off every potential business deal he had lined up for the day he thought he'd be released. This wasn't random. I planned it 2 years in advance. By the time he was sentenced and still holding on to hope, every partner had already walked away. Third, it's not just about evidence. I have backups. What I uncovered is a minefield that's been buried for over 20 years. We dug into the last 3 decades, collecting testimony from victims and interviewing more than a dozen people he manipulated, threatened, or violated. You think that's harsh? What's harsh is what he did to people's lives for decades. I'm just making sure he spends a few extra years in prison for it. I'm not afraid of his people. I'm not afraid of threats. He might still be sitting there fantasizing about a comeback, but the truth is simple. He's never coming back.
We ain't baby all close.
Nah, you stupid.
But yo, look, Puff is
Nah. You working with
I've known
Pac?
Puff for 30 years.
You saw Big before he passed?
Yeah.
Bro, so you're close. And Jack, what were you saying?
In the documentary, there was insinuations of, that Diddy possibly had something to do with both Tupac and Biggie. And,
who's telling the story, right? You can skew
People very close to the situation.
but you can skew.
The computer say, Floyd said, T.I. Nelly fucked 50. I'm like, what did he say for? Nelly your first baby mama, Melissa, then took your fiance. Say
It would be unethical, especially if you've been accused of such things, to be the person blowing the whistle on other people being accused of such things. 50 don't give up. Okay? He don't give up. He posted the Netflix thing. He said number 1 in 36 countries and 11 others still going up. Okay? Now, here it is. 50 is now.
50 Cent's Diddy docu-series didn't just make headlines. It shook the entire streaming world. From day one, it climbed the charts at a speed no one expected, even outpacing giants like Stranger Things. Viewers tuned in for curiosity, nostalgia, or sheer controversy, but one thing became clear. 50 Cent wasn't here to entertain quietly. He was here to expose, and he did it with ruthless precision. Just when it seemed the buzz was fading, new rumors are lighting the internet on fire. Whispers of a second season are growing louder, and this time, the stakes could be even higher. Industry insiders suggest the next chapter might include what fans are already calling the Jay-Z files, promising one of the most explosive moments in hip-hop documentary history. But Jay-Z might not be the only major player. Speculation points to 7 high-profile figures potentially taking the spotlight, each carrying their own...
I did not believe that it was going to be this crazy, but he's been the biggest champion of it. And so I think the goal, was, the original conversation that 50 and I had in sitting down and talking about it, in the wake of Cassie filing her lawsuit, which is when we kind of had our first conversation, right then, was, understanding that there were a lot of rumors in the industry. There was a lot of talk about, some of this bad behavior. I think Cassie's lawsuit, the level of detail that, getting underneath the hood and seeing the level of detail that she brought forward was really a lot to digest. And I think that both 50 and I were really interested in the nuances of tackling a story like this, kind of understanding, where does the role of victim, begin and end versus being a perpetrator, and kind of understanding cycles of violence and these kind of reoccurring patterns, and just seeing how complex the story was, and that no one was really treating it like that. Everyone was just very focused on salacious headlines and with no context, And so I think for us, we wanted to put that care into the story.
But they did characterize it as a hit piece in the very beginning. It's because they didn't get a chance to watch it, when they were saying that. And then after they see it, you see everyone's changed their mind, and it becomes the number 1 dog.
But also someone calling it a hit piece was a statement from Diddy's team. So, I mean, what's your response to Diddy's team? Of course, they're going to probably have an opinion. And then what's your opinion on people that just say that you're petty? Are you petty?
I accept that. I'll take that. I'll wear that. I'm fine. Like I have antics that I've become comfortable with on social media because of the usage of social media. The morning show is the biggest show. These people, they came. It's a great opportunity to be on that actual platform, but they looked at it further and said it's airing in prison, so this would be why I would like to do that. And it didn't come across as a reason not to. Of course, I was aware that it would be airing.
And for both of you, one of the other questions fans are asking is, there are a lot of great and powerful interviews in this, but where are A-list celebrities? Where are people in his orbit that remain silent? Like they've never really even spoken out against the allegations or anything that's going on. Are people just concerned about their careers? Are they afraid to speak out? Because I remember Harvey Weinstein right away, everyone was like piling on and talking. Yeah. Why is everyone afraid to say anything about Diddy?
It's a part of the hip hop culture. Like they think that they are telling something or just mind your business type of thing. Like, so if there's no, other than that, you would look, if I wasn't saying the things that you've heard me say, there would be nothing being said.
Controversies, rivalries, and unanswered questions. Some are connected to Diddy directly, others through industry influence or long-standing rumors that never quite died. As buzz grew around season 2 of 50 Cent's explosive Netflix series, one name shocked fans: Marlon Wayans, the comedian and actor famous for Scary Movie and White Chicks. At first, it seemed out of left field, but a closer look at his recent remarks about 50 Cent makes the connection clearer. The tension started in an unusually calm setting, an interview. When asked about Sean Combs' The Reckoning, Wayans didn't offer praise. Instead, he urged caution, highlighting a long-standing, deeply personal feud between 50 Cent and Diddy. According to Wayans, this rivalry goes beyond the entertainment world. It's almost spiritual, touching on karma and moral consequence. Wayans' comments weren't about defending Diddy. He questioned intent, warning against piling on someone already in the spotlight, even if wrongdoing is involved. He also pointed to how documentaries can shape narratives, sometimes leaving out...
He's on gamma rays. Stick to beefing with Soulja Boy, Kevin Hart, people that we can beat. You fight him. Leave guys that got shot 9 times alone. He survived 9. And so I backed out. I just said his name. They asked me about the documentary. I was like, I didn't see it. And then they asked me about it, and I just gave my opinion. I was just like, I don't think brothers need to be quarreling in public like that. And then what I get into? A public quarrel with a brother. And I just think it was bad for the culture. And so I kind of backed out. I don't even say that name anymore. If you ask me, hey, you got change of $1, I need a half $1. So you need a half $1.
All right. So I'm going to make it abundantly clear. I'm not here defending Diddy. I am here because I got dragged into this because somebody asked me a question and I had an opinion. Nobody's wrong for giving an opinion about any subject, period. I'm not here defending Diddy. Don't let the narrative fool you or get to you. Once again, somebody's creating narratives. This is my point. So please look at the whole clip that I did and then look what happens with the narrative. And that's what I'm telling you. Y'all people don't be sheep. Use your brain, freedom of thought, freedom of speech.
Key pieces of the story point 50 Cent, however, didn't let Wayans' words slide. He responded immediately on social media, firing off memes, White Chicks references, and bold posts that threw shade directly at Wayans. What followed quickly escalated into a full-blown online showdown, complete with AI-generated images and back-and-forth posts, keeping the feud alive and very public. What makes this feud so captivating isn't just the celebrity clash, it's the timing. The sparks flew just as conversations about the documentary were reaching a fever pitch, turning what might have been a passing opinion into days of memes, trolling, and full-blown digital warfare. Wayans insists his remarks weren't about defending Diddy or picking sides. For him, it was a reflection on storytelling, fairness, and how narratives are shaped. But for 50 Cent and the fans watching online, those words landed very differently. The response made one thing.
Marlon got his own opinion, just like everybody got an asshole. He got his own opinion too. You know what I'm saying? And he's going to say whatever he wants to say. But, when you know somebody is going to war or don't like somebody or somebody got a beef with somebody, unless you want to be a part of that beef or take a part of that, why you going to get involved in it? You understand? Keep your opinion to yourself. If you know those two people got a beef and you got a voice out here. Marlon got a voice because he comes from that family that has done a crazy, comedy shows and things for our community as far as being the elites of the comedy world and then of the movie world. And he comes from that family, bro. So, you putting his voice and saying that, 50 is doing something wrong and stuff like that. People can't tell people what to do and how to do with their lives and with their time and everything like that. And if he's going against Puff and he's putting stuff out there, that's his business. That's him and Puff's business. You understand? Like people try to say I'm doing something wrong. That's me and Puff's business. You understand? No, but it's all right for him to send dudes to try to do something to me. It's all right for him to, send people or get them information so I can lose my job. It's all right for them to do what they do. You understand? But when they see somebody like me or doing it back or saying something, I gotta be some broke this, I gotta be some jealous this, I gotta be some hating ass and stuff like that. No, this is war. You understand? I might not have the ammunition he have. I might not have the people that he have. So for Marlon Wayans to go at 50 like that, both of them got money. You know what I'm saying? Both of them got, their own peace of mind. You know what I'm saying? But for Marlon to put out a clip that is an AI generated clip against 50, that's something whole different, bro. That's something whole, and I see that's happening right now. They got a clip of me holding a picture of Diddy and I think it's 50 or somebody in the bed together. You understand? I ain't never had that picture right there. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never seen that. That's a lie. But they're allowing that like that to come on the internet. You know what I'm saying? They're allowing people, to cut and paste and put stuff out there and make people seem like homosexual ass whatever. And I know you can't say that on a thing, but that's what it is, bro. And I just hate that they are allowed and they can't be sued for doing stuff like that, man. And that's what, if you're going to do anything, you should be able to sue somebody to be doing stuff like that. For him to put 50 in the hot tub with Puff or get that picture when he knows it's an AI generated picture, that was low. That was real low. But he said, so since 50 trolling, I'm a troll. So have that same energy when you see that man. Keep trolling when you see that man. And that's what I got to say about that one. My whole thing about it is, bro, people going around saying, but Diddy's in jail. And him being in jail don't bring back none of the people that died, not only on his watch, on his making. It don't bring back big. You know what I'm saying? I heard one journalist talk about, Suge Knight is the one who, big and set big up and everything like that. So let me ask you something. Suge Knight was working in accordance with Puff to get big out of California. He was working with Puff to keep big from going to London. Suge Knight was working with Puff to do that? I don't think so. I heard Puff.
Unmistakably clear, Marlon Wayans has moved from commentator to key player. He's no longer on the sidelines. He's now part of the story itself. Next up on the radar is Jay-Z. And honestly, this one isn't too surprising. After Diddy, his name was always the one fans expected to surface, especially with 50 Cent's growing list of targets. Decades of shared history in the music industry, from high-profile collaborations to subtle rivalries, have made their relationship anything but simple. With the momentum from Sean Combs' The Reckoning still rolling, speculation is heating up that Jay-Z story could be next to take center stage, promising another explosive chapter in the saga. 50 Cent has already been dropping subtle hints on Instagram. A recent post featuring Jay-Z was anything but random, and engagement skyrocketed. The comment section quickly turned into a frenzy, with thousands of fans chanting about the Jay-Z files and speculating that a full season
For Diddy to come on stage, pat him on his ass, and then make the statement to people in the world that can't nobody call me Sean but Jay-Z. Now, I don't know what kind of statement, and I can't say, I wish I could say half a homo, but I know I can't say it. But I don't know what kind of half a homo that is. And you trying to say that you're not close to somebody. You coming on stage, patting them on their ass, and then you making a broad statement to the public. Can't nobody call me Sean but Sean Carter. And I heard Jay-Z said the same thing about them. But they were so close that they had matching white girls together.
or at least a special, focused on him could becoming .50 Cent fuel the fire even more, liking multiple comments predicting the Jay-Z files, sending the rumor mill into overdrive. Given Jay-Z's decades-long influence, the idea of a documentary exploring his legacy, business empire, and alliances, especially his long-standing friendship with Diddy, is enough to keep fans talking nonstop. Jay-Z himself hasn't said a word, and his silence has only amplified the speculation. Online, it's already being treated as almost a certainty that he'll play a major role in the next explosive chapter of this saga. Next up on 50 Cent's potential target list for Season 2 is Rick Ross. And this isn't just a random name popping up in rumors. Their rivalry is one of hip-hop's longest-running and most public feuds, stretching back decades. If
the same things. Now, maybe not Diddy things, but like, I keep telling you, I know many rappers who they do domestically assault their women. They have put their hands on their woman. They have beat their woman before. They have a domestic case. People would think it would be unethical, especially if you've been accused of such things, to be the person blowing the whistle on other people being accused of such things. 50 don't give a okay? He don't give a He posted the Netflix thing. He said number 1 in 36 countries and 11 others still going up. Okay? Now, here it is. 50 is now posted a picture, an edited picture of that. A picture that someone drew of Jay-Z. And 50 said, please stop sending me stuff like this. I'm not going to post it. But of course, he's being facetious because he posted the picture that he claimed he wouldn't post. Now, that's not the interesting part, y'all. The interesting part is when you look at it, 50 was in the comments here and he was liking posts. You can't see what the author, which will be 50, likes. But 50, and I guess I could post it on, give me a sec. I could post it on our burner page. Wait, what? Wait. Give me 1 second, y'all. Give me 1 second. Every time I open my phone, I see like a million different things. Anyway, because I don't want to slow the stream down. 50 is liking these comments, and these comments are saying, yo, do the documentary on Jay-Z next, right? Oh, actually people posted on Twitter. So they're actually saying, and they're encouraging, and 50's liking it. Here we go. Said 50 Cent liked in the comments hinting Jay-Z's next.
50 Cent plans to dig deeper this time. Things could get explosive. The tension reportedly began in the late 2000s when lines in Ross' early tracks were interpreted as shots at 50. He fired back with diss tracks like Officer Ricky and Go Ahead, Try Me, while his direct diss records label aimed digs squarely at Ross. What started in music quickly escalated, spilling into interviews, social media battles, legal drama, and personal attacks. Moments fans still recall vividly today. The feud resurfaced in March 2025 when 50 Cent mocked Ross' role on the Millennium Tour, claiming he couldn't sell tickets and poking fun at his reliance on collaborations like I'm On with Drake. Ross struck back on Instagram, calling out 50 with sharp insults, labeling him a hoe, and criticizing his comments about shared connections, including Big Meech. Now, with the documentary series back in the spotlight, it looks like 50 Cent is taking fresh shots at Rick Ross once again, making it clear this legendary feud is far from over.
You know, people really don't want to look closer into his childhood and to what his mama had going on in that house. God knows what he saw and what happened to him in his own mama house. All of those strangers, them up involved, looking around, seeing what was going on. And let's just be clear, it sounds like her house was a house of, professional freak-offs. So who knows what he saw or what could have happened to him while she was busy entertaining people and pouring and getting tips, as she would say, for her after-hour life.
Oh, yeah. He was, I'm going to say he was surprised to hear that.
School bus. No, was he surprised or was he like, zip it, you talking too much? While she was sitting up there, because I was a bus driver and I was this, and I worked at the after hours. And I would pour them drinks and they would give me big tips.
She didn't say it just like that. Big tips.
Big tip and spending cheese.
In Sean's own words, in Diddy's own words, he had said he had a sigh of relief learning that he was the son of a hustler or a gangster. Mm-hmm. Like he wanted that status. He wanted to say that he was a sigh of relief is a wild thing to say, that your daddy was a gangster or a hustler. That's what you heard that he was.
Well, I mean, like Tim said, they had a bunch of blaxploitation movies being played around the house all the time. They grew up with the Mac playing. They grew up with Superfly playing. Like, I mean, if that's what you got going on, you got two women in the house and there's no men around, and these are what the little boys are watching. You got basketball players coming over late at night. You got hustlers coming over, PIMPs coming over, women who look like they were modeling for Jet Magazine coming over. Like, it sounds like the nature of the environment is what shaped